Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second game of tonight's schedule. Your Tabor College Blue Jays taking on the York College Panthers. Your Tabor College Blue Jays winless in the KCAC play with a record of 2-6. The York College Panthers coming in with a record of 7-4, 3-2 inside of conference. Trey Burks in his 7th season as the Panthers head coach. Coach Micah Radsliff, the Blue Jay legend, coming in his 13th season. Coming off a rough couple of games for the Blue Jays. We're do the starters, the first of the Panthers of York. Deontay Barnes, A.V. Banks, Tyrese Berry, Eric Lanier, and Lance Ewell, the starters for the Panthers. Your starters for the Blue Jays is senior Tyler Zinn, senior Dez Barnes, senior Tevin Berry, Devin Rust, and Leon Marsikic. Take a break as we'll come back soon with tip-off. As you see the KCAC standings here, York 7th in the conference, or I should say tied for 5th with a number of teams at 3-2. Blue Jays are going to come in at the bottom of the conference as they are winless so far at 0-5, tied with Sterling. And you'll see today's officials as well with the clock operator, scorebook, and shot clock operator. And actually on the PA is the legendary Dr. James, as you can hear him announcing the scores in the background. Blue Jays, again, looking for their first win inside of conference play after opening the season with the win. Beg your pardon, with a couple of wins, have dropped 6 straight. Last was to Friends. They dropped 75-60. And York, of course, coming in with the 7-4 record. They've dropped a couple of games back-to-back. They've lost to Oak Woo and to McPherson. They dropped that McPherson game by 10, 88-78. And they have 3 different scores averaging double figures. Their leading scorer is Eric Lanier, the junior out of Bellevue, Nebraska. Their second leading scorer is Tyrese Berry, the Independence Community College product. He's averaging 13.4 points a game. They have a guy coming off the bench, Michael Tolbert, the guard from Florida, and he's averaging 11.4 points a game. And the Blue Jays, and of course, it's all about Tyler Zinn. Tyler averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. The Blue Jays will go as far as he takes them. And they have Tevin Berry, who's still nursing a quad injury. He's only averaging 7 points a game, but he was a starter on last year's team who averaged double digits. Leon Marsikic, the sophomore from Serbia, is averaging 9 a game. And Luis Baez also averaging 7 a game. And Desmond Barnes, who's getting the start today, is averaging 5.5. As the York College Panthers in their road black uniforms and the Blue Jays in their home grays with blue trim on the side. As we are here to jump things off. And again, all these camera angles brought to you by our tech analyst in the control room, Spencer Matlock. He's a football G here at Tabor College as the York College Panthers control the tip. Tyrese Berry controlling the point for the Panthers, gives away to Lance Ewell. Lance, the leading scorer on this Panthers team. The Blue Jays open up in a man-to-man. Ewell going against Marsikic, pulls up from 17 up. That is a smooth-looking jump shot right there by Ewell. And the Panthers showing full court press here as Marsikic brings the ball into the front court, gives to Des Barnes. Barnes guarded by Banks. Marsikic has the ball, and he travels with the Blue Jays, turn the ball over on their opening possession. Lance Ewell, the senior from Brock, Texas. Ewell has the ball out top, guarded by Marsikic. Ball gets into the corner. And Ewell have the ball in the left corner. He in and out on that one. Tyler's in with the rebound, gives it to Barnes. Blue Jays fortunate that Ewell misses that. He had an open shot in the left corner. Tevin Berry controlling the ball. Drives it to the basket, kicks it out to Marsikic. Ball poked from behind. Devin Russ-Gianni on the spot, picks it up. Berry gives to Marsikic in the right corner. 10 on the shot clock. Blue Jays looking to set up some offense. Good man-to-man defense here by the Panthers. Barnes with 5 on the shot clock gives it to Marsikic. He gets hit, kind of undercut by Ewell, and Ewell goes to the ground. Briefly shaken up, but he'll get up. And Marsikic will get 3 shots at the free throw line. Marsikic not a good free throw shooter, just shooting 21% on the season. 3 of 14, and he cans the first one. And he makes a second, making that 21% look pretty pseudo here. And he makes all 3. A pretty touch from the line for Leon Marsikic. Gives the Blue Jays a 3-2 lead. Just a minute 30 into regulation here in Hillsboro. Tyrese Berry cut off by Marsikic, guarded by Barnes. And Ewell in the post, guarded by Marsikic. Tevin Berry coming in a double team and tips the ball out, controlled by Eric Lanier. And I beg your pardon, Lanier is actually the leading scorer on this Panther team. Lance Ewell averages 9 points a game. Lanier averages 15 and 6. As the Blue Jays down 4-3. Barnes top of the key, gives it to Berry. Berry gives it to Tyler Zinn. Zinn is guarded closely by Berry. Gives the ball to Rust in the post. Kicks it out to Marsikic. Thought about a 3. Gives it to the cutting Barnes. Barnes, a great look but Rust wasn't ready for it. Ball goes out of bounds. Second turnover of the game for the Blue Jays. Barnes drove aggressively to the basket and tried to find an open. Rust just couldn't connect. Tyrese Berry on Barnes, floats it, no good, rebounded by Tevin Berry. Skies the rebound, he's gonna push. He gives it to Barnes in the front court. Barnes, guarded by Banks. Tyler Zinn forces a three from the left wing, air ball, no good, rebounded by Eric Lanier. Lanier, he's gonna give it in the corner to Berry. Berry looking in the post, can't see anything. Yule has the ball up top. Blue Jays still in that man-to-mirror. Lanier gets a screen from Yule. As the Panthers look to run their offense, skip the ball across course to Barnes. Barnes able to rattle in a three. Deontay Barnes, the senior from Illinois, transfer from Roosevelt University. It's that one, gives the Panthers a 7-3 lead. Aggressive defense, ball ricochets off of Desmond Barnes of the Blue Jays, not to be confused with Deontay Barnes of the Panthers. And the early keys to the game for the Blue Jays is definitely ball movement on the offensive end. They have a tendency to become stagnant and really struggle for long periods of time to score the basketball. They trail here 7-3 against York. Deontay Barnes going to work on Russ. Good hands by Russ, deflects the ball away, stolen away. Desmond Barnes in the front court. Looking to dissect this defense, try to throw to Rust again. Rust wasn't looking at him. Ball goes out of bounds. Third turnover of the ball game for the Blue Jays. And a quick substitution off the bench is Montel Stewart. He's going to come into the ball game for Desmond Barnes. Tyrese Berry for the Panthers controlling the rock, guarded by Montel Stewart. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Yule. That Yule-Marsikic matchup will be an interesting one to watch all night long. Good roll to the basket by Barnes of the Panthers. Gets fouled, unable to make the layup, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. Fought through the contact, almost made the layup. Makes the first one. Barnes is a 78% free throw shooter on the season. Makes the second. Tyler Zinn now controlling the point guard duty for the Blue Jays. It gets a screen from the recently checked in Luis Baez. Good pass there, and a ball deflected out of bounds. Blue Jays control possession. A good pass by Zinn to find an open Marsikic. But a good hands there by the Panthers defense to deflect the ball out of bounds. Marsikic had an open layup. Zinn inbounds the ball, gives it to Zinn. And a floater in the lane, no good, off balance, rebounded by Yule. He'll give way to Tyrese Berry. Berry looking in the post, working hard is Deontay Barnes of the Panthers. Berry off the screen, he's going to hoist a three from the top of the key and sinks it in there. Early lead here by the York College Panthers. They lead at 12-3. Marsikic drives in the lane, cut off by the Panthers. Zinn, a good pass into Baez. Baez with an easy lay-in. Blue Jays score their first field goal of the game, and they trail 12-5. Yule thought about a three from the left wing, thought better of it, gives it to Lanier. Lanier has not scored yet in the early going, drives to the basket. He's going to be a lot of contact at the rim. No foul called. Blue Jays have possession. He was cut off by Montel Stewart, who came a long way to help on the help side defense to cut off Lanier. And Stewart now controls the ball for the Blue Jays. Takes the screen from Marsikic. Tries to find Marsikic ball. Marsikic ball is deflected, stolen by the Panthers, and that's the fourth turnover of the evening for the Blue Jays. Good swing pass over to A.V. Banks. Short on it, rebounded by Marsikic, gives it to Zinn. Zinn aggressively pushing the front court, gives it to Stewart. He's going to drive to the rim, contact, no, and the shot goes in. Blue Jays cut the lead, 12-7. Trey Burks, the Panthers head coach, calls a timeout. He's going to call a 30-second timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. Blue Jays trailing 12-7.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store-All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store-All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store-All, the solution for your storage problems.
Panthers controlling the ball in the offense. Victor Lewis has recently checked in for York. Lanier takes a screen from Barnes. He's guarded by Nathan Aarons, who's checked in for the Blue Jays, the junior out of Newton, Kansas. That three-pointer no good by Victor Lewis. Blue Jays in the front court. Tyler Zinn all the way to the basket, kicks the ball out to Stewart. Stewart gives to Aarons. Aarons gives it to Zinn. Zinn drives to the basket, guarded closely by Barry. Aarons in the left corner, three-pointer no good. Strong, rebounded by Lanier. Lanier all the way to the basket. A great block by Luis Baez out of bounds. As Lanier went coast to coast, almost had a lay-in. He's going to come out of the ball game. Checking in is Keon Hoskin and Kafani Williams for the Panthers. Victor Lewis inbounding the ball. He's going to find in the backcourt Tyrese Berry. Berry guarded by Montel Stewart. Blue Jays still in their man-to-man defense. Blue Jays have done a pretty solid job to this point, eliminating offensive rebounds by the Panthers. Blue Jays have struggled all year in that department as Tyrese Berry jump shot no good, and on cue an offensive rebound leads to points for the Panthers. York has trapped out of full court pressure a couple of times and has done a good job handling it. Stewart goes to Baez in the post. Baez already has 2 points. A lot of contact down low, but no good. Good defense by Kafani Williams of the Panthers. And that's going to be a travel. Number 24, Cameron Burns had happy feet right there. Traveled for the Panthers. Only their second turnover of the evening. They lead 14-7 with 12:23 to go in the first half. Zinn, scoreless so far in the contest, has done a solid job facilitating as he shoots his three from the left wing, no good. Rattles around the rim, rebound by the Panthers, number 5, Keon Hoskin. Gives the ball to Victor Lewis, who's controlling the point right now. Gives the ball in the short corner. Almost another walk by Cameron Burns. And that hole, a lot of contact underneath. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Tevin Berry. I believe it's going to be a common foul. And it's just a lot of contact. Tevin Berry is moving, but offense seemed to initiate that contact. One of those 50-50 calls. Panthers win it. Oh, good set play to Burns. Burns lanes it in off the backboard. A great out-of-bounds play by Coach Trey Burks and company. They're going to try to trap Zinn in the backcourt. He's going to give it over to Baez. Baez going to give it over to Stewart. Duncan Whitlock checks into the ballgame for the Blue Jays. Senior out of Topeka, Kansas. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense by the Panthers. Baez in the post, left hand, no good. Had an open look at it. And that's going to be called a turnover on York. They had 4 bodies around that rebound. Nobody could come up with it. As one of them stepped on the end line, Blue Jays luckily maintained possession. trailing 16-7 at the 11:21 mark in the first half. Zen guarded very closely by Tyrese Berry. Zen pulls up a two-pointer from 18 feet out, drains it. His first points of the night. Cameron Burns gives the ball away to Victor Lewis, gives it up top to Barry. Good defense by Aarons, cutting off Victor Lewis, and Kafani Williams underneath, no good. Burns gets the rebound. Strong offensive rebounding here in the last couple of minutes by the Panthers. 10 on the shot clock. Good move right there. And another offensive rebound. That's Kafani Williams with the left hand. Blue Jays can't get a rebound. Aarons running the court, and that's going to be a missed layup by Nathan Aarons. I think he got away with an extra step right there in transition. And an offensive foul taken by Tyler Santa Circus. 30 seconds or so right there. As Tyler Zen takes a charge. Tyler Zen had a great look in the last possession to Nathan Aarons in transition. Just couldn't finish the layup. Checking in for the first time for the Blue Jays is Jaden Davis, the junior out of Olathe, Kansas. Davis will control the rock for the Blue Jays, bringing it into the front court. Blue Jays need some offense here. Davis gives to Zen. Zen pass deflected by Barry. 10 on the shot clock. Good pass to Baez, gets his block. His shot blocked by Victor Lewis. Good defense by Montel Stewart. He steals. The Blue Jays have numbers to Zen in the front court, and a foul is going to be called on number 24, Cameron Burns, as Zen goes to the deck. Zen, a 75% free throw shooter on the season, is 33 of 44 on the year. As you see the contact right there from Burns. Wholesale substitution coming from the Panthers. Zen misses the first. Coming back into the ball game for the Panthers is Deontay Barnes, Lance Ewell, A.V. Banks, and Kobe Bonner checking in for the first time for the Panthers. Freshman out of Topeka, Kansas. As Zen misses both free throws. Blue Jays needed those. 18-9, Panthers still winning. Barnes guarded by Rust in the post. A fadeaway one-hand floater, no good. Rebound by Jaden Davis. Davis pushing in transition, ball deflected. Oh, Tyler Zen finds himself to the rim, and he's going to draw the foul, and he makes the land. Oh, what a play there. Zen was guarded by two York defenders. Spins out of it, makes the layup with the left hand, and is fouled. Go to the line to complete a three-point play the old-fashioned way. As you see, he brings the contact into Deontay Barnes. And he's missed 3 free throws here in the last minute for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays cannot leave points at the line if they want to stay in this one. Trailing 18-11. 9:10 to go in the first half. Barnes guarded by Rust in the post. Good defense by Rust in the corner. The Panthers makes a three-pointer. And that's going to be number 5, Keon Hoskin, the freshman from Duncanville, Texas. And extends the Panther lead to 11. Montel Stewart double team, gives it to Jaden Davis. Davis drives aggressively, is tripped up, a lot of context, gets it back out to Zen. 10 on the shot clock for the Blue Jays. Takes the screen from Russ, step back 3, thought about it, actually stepped on the baseline was Montel Stewart. Zen went up to shoot a three-pointer. Good defense there by the Panthers. Threw in the corner to Montel Stewart, who stepped on the end line. And that's the 6th turnover by the Blue Jay here in the first half, and we still have 8:34 to go. 21-11 is our score. Kobe Bonner controlling the point. Guarded by Des Barnes. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Lance Yule. Yule in the corner, drives past the Blue Jays. A lot of contact. Duncan Whitlock with the rebound. Desmond Barnes pushing for the Blue Jays. Duncan Whitlock controls the ball. Blue Jays need to run some offense here. Barnes gives to Leon Marsikic, who's checked back into the ball game. Russ kicks it back out to Jaden Davis. Jaden drives aggressively to the basket, no good. Rebound, volleyed around, controlled by A.V. Banks, gives way to Bonner. Deontay Barnes in the post, guarded by Russ. A lot of contact in the post, and he lays it up and in, extends the lead to 12 for the Panthers. 23-11, Blue Jays have gone stagnant on offense. Marsikic to the basket, undercut, no good. Rebounded by A.V. Banks, good hustle there by Duncan Whitlock. And the ball is going to be tipped out of bounds, controlled by the Blue Jays. Bodies flying everywhere here in Hillsboro. Blue Jays have possession. Checking in is the leading scorer on the season for the Panthers, Eric Lanier. Coming out of the ball game for the Panthers is Keon Hoskin. Blue Jays need some points in the worst way here. And Whitlock controls the ball in the backcourt for the Blue Jays, gives it to Desmond Barnes. Marsikic picks up his dribble, finds a cutting Whitlock, overthrows him out of bounds. Turnover number 7 for the Blue Jays. Bonner guarded closely by Desmond Barnes, known as a solid defender for the Blue Jays. Marsikic aggressively cuts off Lanier, and a good cut right there by Yule, and a good pass by Deontay Barnes of the Panthers as they extend their lead to 14, 25-11. Full timeout called by Coach Micah Ratcliffe and the Blue Jays. We'll take a timeout with them.
Estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
We're back here in Hillsboro. Blue Jays trailing 25-11 with 6:33 to go here in the first half. Blue Jays are looking for some offense here. Zen driving in. He's going to give it to Davis. A right corner three ball, a little bit short. Rebound controlled by the Panthers. Bonner in the front court. Gives it to A.V. Banks, who gives it right back. They're going to look to run their offense, which they have ran effectively so far. Lanier driving on Baez, no good, but Desmond Barnes and the Blue Jays have numbers. Zen Gives it to Baez, a great pass and a good finish by Baez, and the Blue Jays has their first field goal in 3 minutes. Aggressively pushing into the front court is York. Yule, step back, two-pointer. Off and no good. Tyler Zinn with a rebound. Ball deflected. Zinn controls the ball. He's going to force a three from the left corner. No good. Rebounded by Barnes and the Panthers. Kobe Bonner. And the Panthers setting up their offense, gives it to Lanier, who drives all to the basket. Jaden Davis deflects the ball out of bounds. Panthers regain possession. Tyrese Berry and Cameron Burns checking into the ball game. Coming out is Lance Yule and Kobe Bonner. Deontay Barnes controlled by Baez. A good floater right there by Barnes. 27-13. 14-point lead here for York. And a great backdoor cut right there by Tyler Zinn, and a great pass by Jaden Davis. Barnes again in the post. He finds a cutting Lanier for an open basket for the Panthers. They re-extend their lead to 14. Barnes all the way to the basket. Full court press was beaten there by Barnes, who drove to the basket to score two for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have refound their offense here, but they need to stop on defense now. 29-17 is our score. And Deontay Barnes of the Panthers really finding his rhythm here as he scores another bucket for York. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Blue Jays trail by 14, 31-17. Five seconds on the shot clock. Desmond Barnes finds Rust in the corner, shoots a three at the buzzer, no good. Rebounding was controlled momentarily by the Blue Jays, but losing it out of bounds is Luis Baez. Panthers have control coming into the game. For the Panthers is number 23, Kafani Williams, and number 21, Victor Lewis. Panthers looking to extend their 14-point lead here. Running their motion offense. Berry gives it to Deontay Barnes, who has played very well here in the first half. Working on Russ that time, no good. Ball volleyed around. Kafani Williams with his second offensive rebound of the game is able to put it up and in to extend this Panther lead to 16. 33-17. Blue Jays trailing. Montel Stewart takes a rush screen. Gives it to Zinn, an open Barnes from the left wing. Barnes no good. Rebounded, controlled by the Panthers. Been all York Panthers here in the first half. Gives it to Victor Lewis from the top of the key. No good. Another offensive rebound for Kafani Williams. And he is able to get another one after he misses that one. Tips it back out to his Panthers teammate. Lanier driving against Aarons. No good. Rebound. Another one by the Panthers, and an and one opportunity for Deontay Barnes. And that extends the lead to 18 points, 35-17. Barnes sinks the free throw. Keon Hoskin of the Panthers checks back in. 2:35 left to go here in the first half. 19-point lead for the York College Panthers. Another backdoor cut right there by Tyler Zinn. An offensive foul is going to be called against Victor Lewis. And you see this, Desmond Barnes, oh, look at that, taking the contact right to the chest. Good play there by the senior. Then takes a screen from Rust. He has 8 points so far. He's going to take a lot of contact to the rim. They're not going to call a foul. And York, again, still has a commanding lead here as Victor Lewis sinks that three from the right corner, extends lead to a game-high 20, 39-19. Blue Jays honestly looking for anything on the offensive end to skip past to Stewart. He's going to drive and float it into the lane. No good. Rebounded by Eric Fox, who has just checked into the ball game for York. A good steal there by Zen. Gives it to Barnes in transition. Gives up to Montel Stewart. Good transition offense right there by the Blue Jays. Zen to Barnes to Stewart. Just over a minute to play here in Hillsboro. Barry controlled it closely by Barnes. Gives it to Fox. A southpaw for three. No good. Rebounded by Desmond Barnes of the Blue Jays. And he's going to take it. Gives it to Rust. Good pump fake and misses the bunny. A foul call is going to be called against the Panthers. Rust will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Rust, an 86% free throw shooter on the season. Misses the first. Sinks the second. .35 seconds to go here in the first half. Blue Jays trailing by 17 and a turnover. An unforced turnover by the Panthers. Blue Jays have a shot to ultimately take the last one here in the first half. Only a 2-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Blue Jays starting to run their offense here. 7 on the game clock. Gives it to Zen. Zen gives it to Montel Stewart in the left corner. Shoots a three. No good. Rebounded by Fox. Gives it in transition with 1 second. And he's not going to be able to get it off. And that was Keon Hoskin. Not able to get the lane to go. It was a bang-bang play at the buzzer. But ultimately, the refs wave it off, as you see right there, still in the right hand. What a call by the official from the far side of the court. Blue Jays trailing at 39-22. We're going to take a break. In 15 minutes, we'll be back with more Blue Jay basketball.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
We are back here in Hillsboro for the start of the second half. The Blue Jays trailing the Panthers of York College by a score of 39-22. Leading scorers in the first half, Deontay Barnes was the leading scorer for the Panthers. He had 11 total points. He was 4 of 6 from the field. As a team, York shot 45%. The Blue Jays shot at just 34% from the field as Blue Jays start out with possession. Desmond Barnes controlling the rock for the Blue Jays. Finds Tyler Zinn, who was the Blue Jays' leading scorer with 8 points in the first half. Takes a screen from Dustin Rust. 5 on the shot clock. Desmond Barnes penetrating into the lane, gives it to Rust and throws it out of bounds. Rust wasn't expecting a pass from Barnes. Second time on the evening they haven't been able to hook up on the pass, and results in a Blue Jay turnover. 10th turnover of the game for the Blue Jays. York, who was very efficient on offense in the first half, looking to pick up where they left off. A great touch pass right there from Deontay Barnes, who finds a wide open Tyrese Berry, who's able to sink the 2-point jumper from the left corner. And they extend their lead 41-22. Starting in the second half for the Blue Jays is Ernesto Flores for the Blue Jays as Devin Rust finds himself all alone under the basket. A great pass by Tyler Zinn. Berry misses that jumper, rebounded by Rust. Rust gives it to Barnes. Blue Jays trailing 41-24. Flores has the ball, gives it, deflected. And Blue Jays keep possession. Good defense there and active hands by the Panthers defense. Flores for the Blue Jays. Averaging, he's only played in one game. He scored 11 points in 8 minutes in that one game. Zinn to the basket, gets Flores underneath, who dribbles back out, gives it to Rust in the paint. 6 on the shot clock. Ball taken away from Flores. Actually, it's going to be a jump ball going to be called. Panthers have the possession arrow, so they will have possession. Desmond Barnes guarding Tyrese Berry, top of the key with it now as A.V. Banks drives aggressively to the hole and stolen by Tyler Zinn. Banks hit the ground hard. Tyler Zinn looking to push and transition. Gives it to Tevin Barrett, who's been quiet, and he's going to get fouled at the rim by Lance Yule. Good play there by Tyler Zinn to strip the ball away from A.V. Banks. Push it in transition, give it to Tevin Barry, who was met at the rim by Yule. and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws on the season. Barry is a 50% free throw shooter, shooting 6 of 12. Makes the first one, cuts the lead to 16. 41-25. Barry misses the second one, rebounded by Barnes of the Panthers. Gives it to Tyrese Barry, who's guarded by Barnes of the Blue Jays. Barry takes the Yule screen, goes in left corner, is Lanier. And they're going to call a travel on Lance Yule. Blue Jays force a turnover. The 8th turnover of the evening for the Panthers. Flores inbounds the ball to Tyler Zinn, guarded closely by Tyrese Barry. Gets the ball to Yours in the front court, gives it to Barnes. Tevin Barry pump fakes, drives to the basket, and he's going to take it to the rim. And do not count the basket. Offensive foul. Taking the charge is Eric Lanier. And it's a good call by the officials. Lanier had position. Would have been a pretty big break for the Blue Jays to have an and one opportunity to cut into that Panther lead. 17-10 to go here in the second half. A.V. Banks has the ball on the left wing. Blue Jays look like they're in a matchup zone. Great active hands right there by Tyler Zinn. Tips the ball and volleyed around. Yorez controls it, gives it to Zinn, who's going to push. Thought about a 3. Yorez will shoot the 3 from the left wing. No good. Rebounded, fought around by the Blue Jays and the Panthers. Panthers have possession as Barry brings the ball into the front court. Lanier guarded by Russ. Good defense by Russ. Ball poked away, and Tyler Zinn fighting for the rebound, and they're going to call an over and back call. Not sure if that was the correct call because Zinn tipped it in the backcourt. And Coach Trey Burks of the Panthers is going to want a timeout. And a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Blue Jays trailing 41-25. Back here in Hillsborough, Blue Jays leading by 16. Desmond Barnes controls the rock for the Blue Jays, looking for a screen from Baez. He gets it. It's guarded closely by A.V. Banks. Tyler Zinn gives the ball into Baez. Baez looking to move, throws it into the corner, tipped by a Panther defender. Blue Jays keep possession. Barnes finds Baez in the short corner. Rust with 10 on the shot clock. Barnes up top. Tevin Barry aggressively drives to the rim. He's going to draw another foul, go to the line. He's already been there once in the second half. Go back for a second trip. Not a lot of scoring in the second half so far for either team. Blue Jays 3 points to the Panthers 2 in the second half. Just under 4 minutes into action as Barry rolls in that free throw. Ernesto Flores, who was just checked out of the ball game, comes back in for Devin Rust. Barry misses the second free throw for the second time in the second half. Lead cut to 15, 41-26. Barnes eyeing Barry, I should say. Gives it to Deontay Barnes in the post, guarded by Baez, and Barnes has had that sweet baby hook all game long. He now has 13 points in the contest. Blue Jays don't have an answer in the post right now. 43-26 our score. Baez in the post going against Barnes. He's going to go his own right hook, and that goes off the backboard and then good. Move there by Luis Baez, his 6th point of the evening. Berry, an off-balance floater, no good. Rebounded, skied for by Tevin Berry. A strong rebound there by the senior from Newton. Berry from the right wing, gonna fire up a three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Lanier, who gives it in transition to Berry. Berry kicks it to the corner, a 3-ball by Banks, no good. Rebounded, controlled by the Panthers. They're gonna call an offensive foul. Bodies flying everywhere here in Hillsborough. As A.V. Banks, Desmond Barnes, and Tyler Zinn all hit the ground. They're gonna call it on Banks. So an offensive rebound momentarily, as you see. You know, you can call a foul on anybody there. See Tyler Zinn doing his civic duties, wiping the floor off. 14:41 to go here in the second half. Blue Jays trailing by 15, 43-28. Desmond Barnes double teamed in the backcourt, stolen by Lance Yule. Easy bucket by the Panthers. Tyler Zinn gonna control the rock for the Blue Jays. Calling out a screen, but gets it from Baez. Oh, good move by Zinn, gives it to Juarez in the right wing this time, no good, a little bit strong. Baez fights for the rebound, but it's controlled by the Panthers as Eric Lanier brings it into the front court. He's been quiet today. Tevin Berry guards Lanier as Tyrese Berry of the Panthers now has the ball. 7 on the shot clock. Lanier walked with it. Good defense there by Tevin Berry. Couple of substitutions for the Panthers as Keon Hoskin enters the ball game along with Victor Lewis. Tyler Zinn bringing the ball up for the Blue Jays. Luis Baez in the post going against Deontay Barnes, and they're going to call a travel against Baez, and there was a shove thrown in there by one of the York players, and no technical called. And we play on here in Hillsborough. Panthers have possession. Deontay Barnes working on Luis Baez. Barnes, he's going to find Hoskin underneath, who gives it to Lance Yule from the left wing, and flying in there is Keon Hoskin for another offensive rebound for this Panther team. Hoskin hits a three from the left corner, but they're going to wave it off as he stepped on the sideline over there. Zinn has been guarded closely by Tyrese Berry all night long. He's worked for everything he's gotten. Juarez gives it to Montel Stewart, who's just checked into the ball game for the Blue Jays. 12:50 on a running second half clock. Zinn forces a three from the top of the key. No good. Rebounded skied for by Hoskins. Berry of the Panthers working. Gives the ball to Victor Lewis. Panthers running their offense. Forcing a three from the left wing, no good. Was Berry, rebounded by Juarez. Tyler Zinn finds Tevin Berry in the left corner, and he hits it. Cuts the lead to 14, closest the Blue Jays have been all half, 45-31. Good feed right there in transition by Zinn, and fighting his way to the basket is Lance Yule, drawing the foul on Luis Baez. Will have an opportunity to get those 3 points back. Duncan Whitlock entering the ball game for the Blue Jays, the senior. Kobe Bonner also checking into the ball game for the Panthers, as Yule will be at the line to convert the three-point play. Exactly 12 minutes remaining here in the second half. The Blue Jays trail it by 16. Yule hits that one. Checking in for Yule will be number 24, Cameron Burns. Leon Marsikic checks in for Luis Baez. And York Panthers will be in a full-court press here. Tevin Berry brings the ball up. They would like not to double team as Berry brings the ball into the front court, gives it to Zinn, who is guarded closely by Kobe Bonner. Montel Stewart from the left wing, and he rattles a three in there and cuts the lead back to 14. A couple of three-pointers by the Blue Jays in back-to-back possessions. Like to see that from their offense. Bonner gives the ball over to Victor Lewis. Lewis finds Burns in the corner, guarded by Whitlock, and oh, what a nice pass by Burns to Hoskin. Marsikic gives the ball to Montel Stewart, gives the ball back to Marsikic. Big man from Serbia gonna try to find Duncan Whitlock, turns the ball over, stolen by Deontay Barnes, and he's gonna get hit in the head. And that's a hard foul right there as Burns hit the basket. Tyler Zinn knocked his elbow to his head, and you can see that Zinn did not mean to do that. It's a hard foul. And if this were the NCAA, that would probably be a flagrant one. It was hard contact right to the head of Deontay Barnes. It's just going to be a common foul, however, and the Panthers have to inbounds under their own basket. Hoskin gets it into the right corner, drives in the lane, kicks it out to Bonner out top. Gives it back to Hoskin on the right ring, guarded by Zinn. Hoskin fires up a three from the right wing, no good. Rebounded by Tyler Zinn, who's the Blue Jays' leading rebounder not only tonight but on the season. Guarded by Bonner closely as Zinn brings it in the front court. Receives, looking for a screen, gets it from Russ. Bonner guarding Zinn really hard, drives to the basket, hits the ground hard, no foul call. Bonner takes the ball in transition for the Panthers. Blue Jays trailing 36-50. And a ball is ricocheted and stolen. And Montel Stewart, oh, what a great find from Zinn, who looked off the Panther defender in transition. It was 3-on-2 for the Blue Jays. Zinn looked to Leon Marsikic, who was cutting towards the basket, and then he fired it to Montel Stewart, who was wide open. And the Blue Jays are the closest that they have been here in the second half as they trail 50-38. Coach Trey Burke-Sculpt's a full timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them as you get a great shot of the Blue Jays student section.
Estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Back here in Hillsborough, as you see the replay right there of the Blue Jays' previous bucket in transition. And that transition bucket is brought to you by Sherry Fleming, center of the arts. And so we are back underway here. 10:20 on a turning second half clock here in Hillsborough. Tyrese Berry guarded closely by Montel Stewart. Blue Jays have a little bit of momentum on their side, down just 12. Lanier, beg your pardon, Yule, who drives to the basket. He's able to put that in, halting any Blue Jay momentum they may have had. Puts the Panthers back up 14. Zen been guarded closely by Berry all game long. Marsikic controls the rock, gives it to Stewart, gives it back to Marsikic. Thought about a three-pointer. And a kickball is going to be called on the Panthers. Blue Jays have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Blue Jays offense has operated a little bit higher efficiency here in the second half. Just shooting 34% in the first half, shooting 42% here in the second half. Berry in the lane, gives to Whitlock. Whitlock firing a 17-foot jumper, no good, a little bit strong. Marsikic flew in for the rebound, hit the deck. But the ball controlled by the Panthers, and Berry gives it over to Lance Yule. Drives in the lane, working on Marsikic. Step back jumper, nope, takes it back, gives it to Berry. 15 on the shot clock. Berry looking into the lane, cutting, finds a nice cutter as he finds Eric Lanier at the basket, and the score, just like that, goes back up to 16, 54-38. Duncan Whitlock. As Montel Stewart got away with the travel there. Zen thought about a three, punt fake, working on Berry, and finds a cutting Marsikic. They're going to call a foul on Kafani Williams, the senior from Pembroke, New Hampshire. You see right there, just a little bit of contact off the feed from Zen to Marsikic. Montel Stewart takes the screen from Zen all the way to the basket right there. Beautiful drive by Montel Stewart. His 11th point of the night gets him into double digits on that basket. He now is the leading scorer for the Blue Jays. Yule shoots a three from the top of the key, and nothing but nylon. Seems like every time the Blue Jays get a bucket, the Panthers answer. Trailing by 17 now. Had it down to 12 a moment ago. Another great find by Zen, who has really facilitated at a high level all night long. He has 5 assists in the game now, does Zen, as the Panthers retain possession right there. Deontay Barnes checks in for Kafani Williams. 15-point game, just above 8 minutes to go. As the freshman Keon Hoskin checks back in. He comes in for Lance Yule, who scored 7 points in a few minutes in the second half. .15 seconds on the shot clock. Eric Lanier, the leading scorer on the season, been quiet today for the Panthers. Gives it to Banks as Zen blocks that shot. Zen in transition, and he's going to have his shot blocked by Eric Lanier. A couple of block shots and back-to-back possessions, and Panthers have the ball. Marsikic, a good hedge, and Berry kicks it back out. Keon Hoskin had the ball momentarily. Back to Berry. He drives in, an off-balance 16-footer, no good. But Hoskin with the offensive rebound, and he's going to go to the free throw line for an opportunity to convert a three-point play. Score goes up to 59-42. Freshman Hoskin has played very well off the bench today for the Panthers. Able to rattle that free throw in.
No fouls. Let's lock up.
Zen forces a three-pointer on top of the key. No good. Rebounded by A.V. Banks. 18-point lead now for the Panthers, 60-42. "15-footer from Barry, and he hits it. Lead back up to 20, 62-42. Zen in transition, pushing, does not have numbers. Gives it to Stewart. He's already hit 1 3.5 and short on that one. Zen with the offensive rebound, no good. But Duncan Whitlock able to get a hand in there amongst the trees and knock that one in. And fouled on the three-point attempt is Keon Hoskin. Was fouled by Duncan Whitlock. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot three, as you see right there. Whitlock just kind of moved into the landing space of the shooter. Hoskin rolls the free throw in around, hits it. And again, these camera angles are brought to you by our guys in the control room. Checking into the game for the first time is number 22, Elias Worth, the sophomore guard from Hillsboro, Kansas. Hoskin able to get all three free throws, extends the lead to a game-high 21 points, 65-44. 6 minutes left to go here in the second half. Blue Jays turn the ball over again. Deontay Barnes gives it to Barry. Barry's just going to milk the clock here. No need, no urgency by the Panthers as they lead it by a comfortable margin of 21 points. A.V. Banks touches. 11 on the shot clock is in the corner. Kayvon Hoskin turns the ball over. Tevin Barry steals it, gives it to Desmond Barnes in transition. And he's going to go all the way and gives it nice feed there to Luis Baez. Barnes streaked down the court with a nice dish. Solid play there from the senior from Houston, Texas. And a good play there by Barnes from the opposite end, but unfortunate that it goes into the hands of a Panther, but they missed the bunny. Barnes is going right back to work. He's going all the way down. He's going to get fouled, but there's going to be a common foul on the floor, 5th team foul on York. You see there, just a little bit of contact. Jaden Davis has the ball checked in for the Blue Jays. He's going to be aggressive drive in. Gives it to Worth, who gives it to Barnes. Baez with the right-handed baby hook. No good. Rebounded by Victor Lewis. Gives way to Tyrese Berry, the point guard of this Panther offense. And they're going to be content with one of their offense taking a little time off the clock. And Tyrese Berry draws a foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Foul's going to be called on Jaden Davis. On the count call for his first foul. Misses the first free throw. Misses both free throws. Rebounded by Jaden Davis. Gives way to Des Barnes. Devin Berry controlling the rock on the right wing. Gives it to Elias Worth in the corner. Gives it back to Berry. Forces a three-pointer in and out. Rebounded by Victor Lewis. Brings it into the front court for the Panthers. Loses control. Tipped around. Controlled by Luis Baez of the Blue Jays. Desmond Barnes hits Elias Worth in transition. Gives it back to him. Baez gives it to Elias Worth. Gives it to Tevin Berry. Takes a screen. Throws it to Desmond Barnes. Thought about a shot. Gives it into Baez, who's going to work it. Gives it to Worth. Gives it back to the corner to Jaden Davis. And he airballs it. Rebounded by the Panthers and Tyrese Berry. And good defense there by Elias Worth. And in transition is Jaden Davis. And he's going to have a nice finger roll at the rim. And makes a lane for the Blue Jays, who trail it now 65-48. Berry, who has had a really solid game at the point guard position for the Panthers, and a hard foul there, and an opportunity for a three-point play is Keon Hoskin, a freshman, small forward who's really played a solid game. For the Panthers, checking in for Berry is Kobe Bonner. Berry seemingly checking out for his last appearance in this game. Really played a solid game, controlling the rock for the Panthers. Hoskin makes that free throw. He's now 5 for 5 in the ball game. Devin Berry driving in, gives it to Baez. Blue Jays just all sort of out of whack on the offensive end. Berry with the 16-foot jumper and unable to get that to go. Rebounded by Victor Lewis. Lewis all the way to the basket, guarded by Elias Worth, and they're going to call a foul. And that's going to be on Luis Baez, second consecutive foul for the big man, his third of the game. See there, Baez kind of jumped into Victor Lewis. Good call there by the official. Checking in for the Blue Jays the first time is number 31, Justin Williams. And coming back in is for the Blue Jays, number 21, Ernesto Juarez. Juarez is here, passing it to Worth. Worth gets it back to Juarez, who shoots a left corner three, no good. Rebounded by Hoskin. Now we are under 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Blue Jays trailing it by 22, 70-48. Badly missed on that one, three-point jumper. Rebounded by the Blue Jays in transition. Elias Worth is going to get an easy lay-in. Good pass there by Desmond Barnes. We got a timeout just for a substitution as Isaiah Abbott, a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, is going to check in the ball game for the Panthers. Good D there by Elias Worth. And Hoskin firing a deep three-pointer. And Blue Jays going to control the rebound. Bringing it up is Jaden Davis, forcing a three from the top of the key. No good. Fighting for the rebound is Ernesto Juarez, really playing hard. And Blue Jays are going to maintain possession, 20 on the shot clock, 59.3 seconds to go here in the second half. It's been all Panthers here in Hillsboro. 70-50 is our score. Elias Worth feeds it into the post. And going to the free throw line after a strong move is Justin Williams. Good move there, right into the chest of the Panther defender. Williams, a 6'6" senior from Hartford, Connecticut. Sinks the first free throw. York will move to 4-2 inside of conference play and improve their overall record to 8-4. Blue Jays will drop their 7th consecutive game, 6th inside of conference. They'll go to 0-6. 70-52 is our score here. Kobe Bonner controls the rock. Hitting a three-pointer is Cameron Burns, extending the lead to over 20 points now again, 73-52. Elias Worth driving the ball aggressively, loose ball, and the Panthers still diving after it. You gotta love the effort right there. And ball stolen by the Blue Jays. Justin Williams, ball stolen now by Kobe Bonner, and the York coaches shouting for him to hold the ball, so the clock goes out, and we are under a couple of seconds to go here in Hillsboro, and that's your final score, 73-52. And that will do it here in Hillsboro.